Alright, the MTB Trail Sherpa here, and for Christmas I was given a wireless helmet light called the Hangover from Outbound Lighting, which is a manufacturer just down the road in Chicago, Illinois. Apparently when we ordered these, they came in within a week, and they manufacture them as they get the orders in, and they've been, I'm guessing they were pretty busy for Christmas. As you can see, Outbound Lighting. I have not opened this package. I'm going to open it up, go through it, give you my impressions of it, compare it to my current lighting system, and then I'll be coming back later in the video with a summary of actual use out on the trails. So let's begin. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to open it. So first thing I see is the actual light itself, and then I had ordered a GoPro clip for my helmet, and I ordered the wide one because my helmet has gaps. Hopefully this wide one will be the proper fit versus the GoPro one, which is much narrower and it doesn't reach across to span the open gap on my helmet. They actually packed it in the box, which was cool. Next I'm going to pull the light out. I can see it looks like it's already mounted on a GoPro clip. So first thing I pull out, I'm looking at it. I can see 4 LEDs and one on each side, so it's got a little, looks like it's got a total of 6 LEDs. It's low profile, it's pretty, not too heavy. As you can see, it's clipped in, it's got a nice wide button on the top. Looks like power meter lights, telling you how many bars of energy you've got left. I'm going to undo the GoPro clip. I'm going to set that down for now. This is the normal GoPro clip size. I got the extra wide one, so it should cover the gaps on my helmet. And this is the actual light. That's the unit. So on top you've got it's a nice big power button, on and off, I'm guessing. It's got the Outbound Lighting logo there, which is nice. These are actually integrated. They're not attached or anything. They're actually part of the housing, which is nice. And it looks like these ribs, I'm guessing, are for heat dissipation. It's got a little rubber grommet here. If we open that, that's the charging port. Looks like it's a USB-C standard. And looks fairly decent. Let me turn it on and see what it looks like. I'm guessing it's got power in it. I turn it on. Whoa, that looks pretty bright. It's got 3 bars on it right now, so it comes charged. Not fully. You're going to want to charge it up all the way. So let's put it back together here. Alright, let's move the box out of the way.
Oh yeah. That was awesome.
Okay, I'm a bona fide idiot. I didn't completely unbox the unit. If we look back at the box, I took everything out that I saw, but if you lift this up, it comes with a charging cord, which I was remiss in saying. So it's got a USB-C charging cord, and it's got directions. So in looking through the directions, the 4 ports on top, so these 4 lights, when you power it on, one is brighter than the others to tell you which step you have it in. So as you hit the button consecutively, the brightest light will move across, so you know exactly what level of lighting you have. But you can always look ahead of you so that you can see bright, brighter, bright, bright. But I'm an idiot. I missed all that stuff underneath. So, alright, this is my helmet. As you can see, I already have a GoPro mount on the top. It doesn't really span. Let's see how the wide one fits. Oh, that's going to be nice. So I can mount it up here, over here. Alright. I do like to ride with my GoPro on my helmet or my chest, so we'll check that out too. Here's the old light attachment, how my light attaches. We'll go through that. But as long as I got a GoPro mount here, let's see how it fits on there. Alright, looks like it's going to just clip right in. That is pretty slick. And right now, if you look, that's as low as it's going to go. I don't know if that's going to be low enough to point down where I want it to. As we stop at the trails, I do a lot of night riding. So when we stop in a group, typically my old light I would turn down so it's not pointing people in the eyes. I'm guessing this one I'm going to have to turn up since currently it's as low as it's going to go. Or I could use a gooseneck mount. I'm guessing this would probably raise it up enough to aim down lower. We'll try some different things out. Okay, so that's a couple things. And I'm going to take a moment and just show you my current, what I have been using until this came in. I'm excited for this because, let me show you what I currently use. So I currently use a Magic Shine setup. It's got the light with the cable. This is the battery pack I use. But to use this setup, because in the daytime I don't want to ride with it because it just adds extra weight to my helmet. So when I'm using it, here's what I have to go through to use it. So let's just do an exercise on that. First I have to stuff the rubber through here. I pull it through. I hook it up. Okay, now I've got this cord. Now at this point, I have to thread this through here. Otherwise I got extra cable slapping all over the place. And then I've got the battery pack, which, let me show you how I put the battery pack on. I stick the Velcro strap in here, and I've got to feed it through here. Alright, and I put the cable underneath so it doesn't rattle around. And I stick it in. Now at this point, I can actually clip my battery in. That's what it looks like. This is the before. Alright, so this is before. And I'm going to show you the after. Before, I'm going to show you what it looks like now once everything's in place. That's it. But basically that was it. It's nice and clean. I don't have wires running around. Now I will probably mount it up here and have my GoPro here because this is going to be low profile, so I can shine the light ahead and the GoPro will see wherever I'm riding and record. It's a wider setup, so hopefully it'll diffuse out wider. So it's nice. I got this. It should be wider. Okay, just a reminder, the charging port is on the bottom, which I do ride in all kinds of weather. So it's nice that it's on the bottom, and it does have a rubber seal. A couple unknowns. I do not know what the battery life is going to be like with this one. I've ridden with my other light long enough to know what the battery life is going to be like. Also, weather and water and temperature, I don't know how that will affect this. Again, I've ridden with my old light long enough to know based on certain conditions. So it's going to be a learning curve there. It'll be interesting when I go out to see the different light pattern, as well as how much brighter or equal to or less than this is compared to my Magic Shine. The feature I do like is the big wide button on top, because I do most of my riding in the winter time, and in the winter it's colder, which tends to mean I'm wearing gloves. So hopefully this big tactile button will allow me to use it even with gloves on and not have an issue. I think the only thing left to do is reconfigure my helmet. I'm going to take this off, put another GoPro mount here, and then possibly try my configuration between the GoPro and the light. Alright, so I've changed the angle, so now I'm guessing this will point down farther for me. So now I have a wider range to go with. So I'm probably not going to record a test ride with it, simply because when I see light comparisons on videos, it doesn't do it justice. It's, for me, it's a personal feel. I'll put in what I'll tell you what my impressions of it are. But right now I'm excited about the quality of this. That looks like a pretty high quality thing. Some unknowns again: battery life, exposure to the elements, how well the power button works with gloves on, with the weight distribution on the helmet. So yeah, those are all going to be things I'm going to have to check out. Okay, I just got back from a ride, and I'm going to give you a little breakdown on Outbound lighting. So I was right, the large button on top definitely makes a difference when you have gloves on. You can feel it. It's easy to press, easy to get to where you want to be. Wasn't too heavy up here, actually. It worked out okay, and I got plenty of room and angle. I was also right about when you come up to a group, I'm not able to turn it down as much as I need to, so turning it up tends to be the right answer. So I'm not shining people in the eyes, or simply turning it off, and then just bringing it back to where you need it. In using this, without the other light, the pattern is definitely wider. It's noticeable. It's not super wider, but it is noticeable. The light itself, the color of the light, because I had an old Magic Shine light on my handlebars, so I kind of did a comparison with that. The pattern is wider than the Magic Shine. The color of the light, the Magic Shine is really white, bright white. This one, in my perception, seems more yellow. It's noticeable that you can tell it's not as white. It does lean a little bit toward the yellow spectrum, but when I had the Magic Shine off and just ran off this, you really couldn't tell. It didn't look yellow at all. It looks nice and bright. But as a comparison side by side, this one does have a yellow tinge to it. But as I said, when you're riding just this light alone, which is bright enough, it definitely is not noticeable at all. Moving on to the battery life, I rode the trails for about an hour and a half. I really didn't see any noticeable downgrade in the light as the time went on. I finished with probably 2 bars. So it seems to be pretty good, but I was not running it on its brightest. I did a little bit at certain points, but when I ride at night, out of habit, I don't run the brightest because especially when I don't know how long I'm going to be out. So I'll run it typically in the 3rd brightest or even the lowest setting, unless I'm having trouble seeing the obstacles in the trails, and then I'll kick it up a notch. If I'm going into a gnarly section, I will kick it up to the brightest just from a safety standpoint. But the overall width of the light is nice. The forward, what you call spray of light, is really good, and it's pretty easy to adjust, and it's a nice wide pattern that helps out. So in conjunction with running a handlebar light, I have no problem seeing at night or getting around the trails. If I were to just use this, again, that's amazing. It definitely works really well. I would highly recommend this light as a replacement. The only thing I don't know is over time, as I'm running my GoPro here and the as I'm running the GoPro here and the Hangover Light here, how long will that affect my head weight? So I may look at adjusting placement of each of them, and we'll see. Only time will tell. The more I ride with it, the more I'll start to understand the light, the battery life, as well as the weight distribution. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this to you. Go ahead and get it. It's definitely, just from a clean, no wires hanging around type of thing, it is nice. I believe if I had a USB cable and hooked it up underneath and ran it to the back, I could still use an external battery if I'm going to be out for any length of time. Based on the arrangement, based on the arrangement of the LEDs, it's more wider. Is that a process? I keep saying wider. I don't know. It's stuck in my head. So, anyways,